What's up, everybody? We are going to get the show started soon. In the meantime, I'm going to put on the theme music and get it rocking. Wait for some more people to come in. Let's get it. What's up, everybody? My name is Fitz. I am the host of the Let's Argue podcast. Also, personal development and business coach. I help entrepreneurs and highly motivated people set and achieve goals and hold them accountable. But tonight, we are going to be talking about something that is circulating on social media, circulating through the news cycles, and that is Dr. Umar Johnson's recent comments on the Joe Budden podcast. And I'm going to play a clip where he clarifies his position. He clarifies what he meant by his statements. So we're going to get into it. So essentially, and he's going to be able to tell you in his own words on his live stream that he had posted what he meant by it. But before we get into that, the underlying theme of what he was talking about was Black culture. okay? Black culture. And what he was essentially arguing is that rap music is a form of Black expression. Rap music, it was created by African people and it has been exploited, and essentially he does not believe that any white person can be the greatest of anything that was created by Black people. So he's not just targeting Eminem. What he's saying is, look, Black culture has been exploited. And in order for us to psychologically build ourselves up and have confidence as a culture, we need to make sure that we are holding it sacred, that we are not making it to where other people are able to come in and take credit or diminish what we have created. That's essentially my understanding of what he was talking about, but we're going to get into it a little more. The co-host for tonight, Ty, he's going to jump on as well, and we are going to go back and forth and break this thing down, because I've been seeing a lot of comments. Some of them talking about Dr. Umar Johnson is a scammer. Okay, I don't know what that has to do with his argument. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you a story, right? I'm going to give you a story because I think it's important. So I was on Instagram yesterday, and there was a social media influencer. I'm not going to give their name, but they teach about like crypto and tech, and they're in the space of calling out scammers as well, right? They're in the space of calling out scammers, and they posted a video of Dr. Umar Johnson talking about how or they posted a video of him and his apartment was dirty, and they captioned it and was saying, Dr. Umar Johnson recently said on the Joe Budden podcast that Black men should not date outside their race. And then he went on to say that's hypocritical because Dr. Umar Johnson is not committed to a Black woman. He's not married right now. It's not that he's dating a white woman or any other type of woman. He's just not married. And I commented and spoke to a principle. I said, whether he's married or not, the principle of what he's talking about, which is the Black family, strengthening the Black family, which you're only going to really be able to do by having a Black mom and a Black dad, that is still the cornerstone of building the Black community. And this social media influencer tried to make it personal about Dr. Umar. He tried to get me to go tit for tat, Dr. Umar scammer, Dr. Umar. He tried to make it personal, but I was talking about the community, right? So he comments back and says, oh, so you're saying he's a hypocrite. That's not what I was saying, but I let him know in a very respectful way. Even if Dr. Umar Johnson is a hypocrite, which on some level we all are, I'm assuming he was talking about the argument being hypocritical. People tend to assign a label to someone instead of just talking about a specific behavior. But even if Dr. Umar Johnson is a hypocrite himself for not being married to a Black woman, I said that still doesn't change the principle of what he's saying. And we go back and forth, and at the end of it, the guy, the Instagram social media influencer who's also on YouTube says, anyone who subscribes to that childish argument is a fool. In which I replied, so you're childish for wanting to strengthen the Black community by strengthening the Black family. And guess what happened? He blocked me. Right? He blocked me, and I sat back and thought, okay, this is a bigger issue. Not just dating outside of the race, but also people want to look at the personality or the person instead of the principle of what they're talking about or what they're saying. And we're going to get into that tonight. as we move forward with this argument of, can a white person be the best rapper? Right? That's the topic tonight. Can a white person be the best rapper? So you have Dr. Umar Johnson's perspective, like I said earlier, which is no, it doesn't matter how good you can rap. Black people should not name you the best rapper if you are not black, because white people have already taken so much from black culture. We should want to protect black culture. That's Dr. Umar Johnson's position. All right. That is Dr. Umar Johnson's position. And we're going to dive into it. Okay. But before we do that, here's another thing that I want to add. Okay. Because I hear this a lot in comments or just talking to people. They'll say, anytime they make a claim about somebody, right? They'll make a claim about an influencer or someone like Dr. Umar Johnson. And part of their claim will be true, but part of their claim will not be true. And anytime you clarify and correct the part that's not true, they say that you're brainwashed. They say that you're just standing up for them. And it really makes me believe that many of the people that are criticizing other people, they're not actually interested in the truth. They're interested in their version of the truth. They read a headline or they present partial information. And when someone gives a clearer, fuller picture, they say, you're brainwashed. You're just standing up for them, right? So my question is, even if someone is a scammer, are they still able to offer value in another area? And I'm not saying he is. I'm opening the question up, and you can let me know in the comment section what you think. If someone is not good in one area, does that disqualify them from being considered knowledgeable in another area? Right? Like, what are we actually looking for? That is my question to my viewers. So if you understand, if you're in the house tonight and you're excited about the conversation, put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat, and it looks like we got Ty here. I'm gonna bring him up so he can let y'all know who he is, all that great stuff, and then we're gonna play the video and dissect what Dr. Umar Johnson is talking about.
Oh, man.
You got Ty in the building.
Yo.
What up? Is that a man bun?
Nah.
Oh.
Try to put my hair back. It's all crazy. I saw you yesterday. Well, you seem like the process of it. This guy
must have been one of them other men you were talking to.
Stupid, bro. Nah, look at this. Make this go viral for you, boy.
I was about to say, it was about to look like Cat Williams.
I be feeling like Don King, bro.
Only in America.
Yeah, I look like it.
Long.
But yeah, it's about 9 inches or so. No homo. Resume.
Was it braided last time? What it?
Mm-mm.
Oh no, okay.
Last time I braided it.
Yeah, because I don't remember your hair being that long.
Mm-mm. So I got this little new system. I ain't gonna say their name, but it's a new system that helps stretch. It stretches my hair instead of me having a blow dryer. So it makes it easier to take it out of the curliness and just rock it like this because it's easier to put in a bun or just put up.
I feel it. So let people know who you are, what you do, and where to find you. And then we're going to get into this and we're going to break down, can a white person be the best rapper?
Yeah. Ty, you can find me at underscore Wolfwagon. I put it in the little optional caption thing right there. Underscore Wolfwagon underscore. Post a lot of dog videos, training videos, tips, etc. If you need your dog trained, holla at me. I do consultations online. We can also do in person, depending on what state you're in. Yeah, let's get to it.
All right. So I did a quick intro, but there's a little more people watching now, and you're here now. So just to reiterate what we're talking about tonight, Dr. Umar Johnson said on the Joe Budden podcast that Eminem cannot be the best rapper because he's white. And he went on to clarify what he meant by that, talking about how no white person can be the best of anything that was created by black people because we should not want them to be, and that we should protect our culture because white people have taken enough from us already. That was essentially his argument. And he goes further into saying that no other culture names other people who are not in that culture or in that race as the best of that thing. Now, I don't know how true that is, but on the face of it, I really don't see it. So I'm gonna have to weigh in on that side of it and say, that's something that seems like it's plausible.
Right.
But we're gonna dive deeper into what he says. Let me pull that video up.
Yeah.
And then also in the comment section, if you want to come up and give your perspective, we don't want to just be in an echo chamber. Click that link. You don't have to get in the video. Just mic up. Let us know your perspective. Maybe we're missing something, which I don't know Ty's perspective yet, but we're gonna get into it. So let's go. All right. Got that video pulled up.
Shout out to my people watching in the comments. I mean, watching live. I had to send a link to a few people. That's why I took
Shout out. Every view helps. Every comment helps. Make sure you hit that like button so that this content can get out to more people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think this is the first time you see my hair like this, for real.
Yeah.
Besides us going to the braider shop when we was in college.
I didn't go to college, brother. I'm a bum.
The C word.
That too.
There's a new video.
So this is, to give context, this is a video from his Instagram live where after he did the interview with Joe Budden, he got on and talked about this after people were saying what they were saying. I chose this video because he's able to clarify more than he was on the Joe Budden podcast. He goes into it a little more. So let's see what he has to say.
When I look at the responses from America's Caucasian community over this issue of Eminem being the GOAT of hip hop, and let me say this, I have nothing personal against Eminem. My comments on the Joe Budden podcast had nothing to do with Mr. Marshall Mathers personally, and I want Mr. Marshall Mathers to understand that Dr. Umar Ifatunde harbors no personal ill will towards you. This is not personal. This is business.
Okay, right there. So even though he says that, some people will say that he's still being racist or he's still attacking Eminem. What do you take away from that? Does that sound like a personal attack, or does that actually mean anything? I guess him prefacing it.
I don't think it was a personal attack. I mean, it makes sense the way he says it. And I think at some point Eminem even felt that way coming into the rap game. He felt like he didn't really have a place. And I think a lot of his counterparts began to vouch for him, like Dr. Dre. Who else he worked with? 50 Cent. He worked for some of the most dominant people that kind of, I don't want to say gave him a pass, but they really vouched for him and put their necks out and said, this dude can really spit with the best of the best. So I don't think it was a shot at him, because people are gonna try to take that and run with it and expect Eminem to diss him in his new song or a song. So
But
I
people
think
don't pay attention to that. People won't play that part of it. They won't play the part where he's saying this is no disrespect. Here's what I actually mean. They'll just show him going off and snapping.
yeah,
Let's see.
that's how they get the clicks and the views, man.
I ain't mad at him.
This is not personal. This is business. Eminem, I want you to hear me, young man. This is not personal.
Young
this
man.
is business.
Right out the
You are
young
a
man.
talented musician,
Talented.
lyricist, producer. You seem like you are an okay guy. You've never done nothing to me, and you've never done anything that I personally witnessed to be worthy of condemnation. So my comments are not personal.
Yep.
They apply to any non-African. This is about business, the business of protecting the integrity of African culture. I said my comments on the Joe Budden podcast was about business, not personal. The business of protecting the sacredness, authenticity, and integrity of African culture.
So with that being said, right, do you think that when we hear rappers talking about killing other Black people and things like that, is rap worth being protected?
I'm gonna say no. I don't think it's worth being protected because of the message that it has depicted for so many years. I mean, start off with everybody. If you ask probably the average Black person on the street, it's obviously going to depend on state wise as well, who their favorite rapper is. They're going to say somebody like Jay-Z, Nas. They're going to say probably one of those two at least, Biggie, Tupac. And if you look at the lyrics and look at what they've been saying, Jay-Z went from selling crack rock very young to the Black community to being a multi-billionaire now. It still raps about the same thing he was doing before. And we talked about this, how a lot of people feel like, oh, he changed my life. He taught me how to do this, do that. But what did he really teach you except how to cook crack and how to sell crack and how to?
That's all I need, baby. That's all I need.
How to get over on your partner. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it needs to be protected. I think Black people have vouched for it so hard because it's something that is relatable. But
is it though? Is rap music like? Think about this. What are the main themes of rap music? How you have all these women, you have all this money, and you sell all these drugs, and you're willing to kill other Black people. I don't know how relatable that actually is. And another thing that I found interesting, and I would challenge Dr. Umar Johnson on this, because I agree that Black culture should be protected and should be something sacred. I disagree that rap music is Black culture in its current form. I don't believe that the current version of rap is actually rap culture because it's so tied up in this white idea of what Black people actually are. It's so over sensationalized that it doesn't even represent Black people. Most Black people are not hood. Most Black people are not out here killing other Black people. Most Black people don't sell drugs. Most Black people don't have all these women. Most Black people don't sit around and talk about how many women are on their genitalia, because I don't want to say the other word. All the other words, they're gonna try to take it down. Their penis, I gotta use the medical term. Most Black people don't do that. And so to say that rap music represents Black culture would then have to be admitting that Black culture is degenerate. And if Black culture is degenerate, why would you want to protect something that's degenerate? So that's my pushback to Dr. Umar Johnson when he is using rap as the part of Black culture that needs to be protected. This is a capitalistic money-making machine using black bodies and black voices to turn a profit by propagating and celebrating the death, rape, exploitation of black people and the worst parts of black society. I don't see that as black culture. I see that as the money-making tactic that white CEOs came up with to make money. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean that makes sense too.
I'm on my Umar stuff. Oh my goodness.
That makes sense. I think that we have to drop a lot of those things that we consider to be black culture as well, things that we necessarily didn't put on black culture. And I think the music industry is one of them for sure, because now let me not generalize. Majority of the black population wants to be a celebrity in some way or fashion, right? Some of them want to be rappers and they try for a very long time and don't make it, but they also don't have a plan outside of that. It's just strictly, I just want to rap, talk about how I feel, what I went through. It's just like a clone of the same stuff that's being put out now, especially now. But back then it was kind of the same too. I'll even go a step further and say that a lot of rap that we glorify, if for example, like Tupac, everybody loves Tupac. Everybody in this world, white, black, Hispanic, whatever. But I would even say Tupac was hypocritical with some of his stuff too, because it was, they gonna call us the N-word regardless of what we do, how we look, how we present ourselves. And he made music that stood up against those things, but also called black women B-words and hoes and tricks and degraded them, but in the other sense of that, try to defend them as well. And he was never on one side or the other. It was just kind of a back and forth type of thing. So it was very hypocritical in how we should be treating our women, our family members. He made that song, Brenda Got a Baby. Young girl threw her baby in the trash. You know what I'm saying? And that was inspirational to hear. But then in the next song, he was talking about, I get around, I got all these hoes shooting at people, drugs. So I think we need to drop a lot of those things that we have adopted that aren't our ideas or like beliefs and values and morals, and really focus in on uplifting the culture rather than bringing it down.
No, I agree. Let's see what he's talking about.
I said that no non-African can ever be the best of anything in African culture. You can't be the best cook of African food. You can't be the best rapper of African hip hop. You can't be the best singer. You can't be the best priest of African culture. Nothing we create can a non-African be the best at. First of all, it makes absolutely no sense at all. I don't even see how an African can come to the conclusion that a non-African can be the best at anything when we are the oldest people. We are the first people. And we are the most numerous people. So when you say a non-African is better at X, Y, and Z than a member of the race, you're saying that this person can do this better than 2 billion Africans. Or you're saying not only can they do it better than 2 billion Africans on the planet, you're saying they can do it better than all of the billions of Africans that have ever walked the planet Earth. You know, and I know that is absolutely ridiculous. You know, and I know.
So what do you think about that? Because now, like, he clarifies his position and says, you saying that someone is the best at something that comes from African culture is you pretty much being a traitor to the race. That's what my understanding is. Do you think that that's the case? Or do you think like, you know, if someone's better than you, they're better than you. And if you want to lie about it, you can lie about it, but that's fake.
What? And my question would be: would Eminem still be Eminem if Black culture wasn't here? Would he still be this greatest rapper of all time?
Okay, let's go down that path. One, we'd have to determine what makes somebody the greatest rapper. Is it just their skills? Is it how many albums they sell?
Right.
It's subjective. But we also have to understand that the rap that we know is a commercialized version of whatever Black people created. Whatever we actually created, I don't even think that was rap. I think that was something else. And that the commercialization of that thing is what became known as rap. And so when we think of who's the best, it's not like basketball or football where, you know, you could have a decent player, but at a certain level, he's probably not going to be able to compete with these NBA and NFL players because he hasn't been given specific training that you would have gotten maybe in college or in high school or whatever, right? Like there's a system and you can only get so far on your own before you can't really compete at a level. That doesn't, I don't want to say it doesn't exist in rap, but there are people who are unknown, right? That can rap better than many of the known rappers. So I kind of get what he's saying. It's so subjective of a thing that when you then go and label somebody who's not even in the culture as the best, he didn't even say one of the best. He's talking about saying he's the best. I think that it can come off as, you know, you're not really for the culture.
Yeah. I mean, to his point, I think it's still. I don't think it's anything personal. Truly, I don't. You know, I know how to cook a lot of recipes, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to be as authentic as the people who have made this food. Right? If I want to cook some salsa, and I cook it, and I got all the ingredients, and I know how to make it, and then I make it, and it don't taste the same as going to a Mexican restaurant. Obviously, I'm going to go to the authentic source. I'm not going to keep trying to make it myself.
But what if it tastes better? Do you think if you took the time, you looked up some recipes online, maybe you even hung out with some Mexican people and they, you know, maybe you had a girlfriend, fiance from Guatemala or something, South America, North America, Canada, you know, she teaches you how to make that guacamole. You telling me you couldn't learn and do it better?
Nah, it ain't gonna hit the same, man. It ain't gonna hit the same.
What makes it different?
It ain't gonna hit the same. It ain't gonna hit the same as if when I first tasted it, right? So that first taste, those taste buds, the feeling where I'm at, all those things, I may be able to replicate the dish itself, but I'm not gonna be able to replicate everything else that came with it. Like it's not gonna be the same as when I first had it.
But wouldn't that be the same thing as if someone who wasn't from that culture had given you your first experience with it?
Nah.
It wouldn't?
Nah.
So you'd be able to replicate that first feeling of them doing it?
Nah.
You contradicted.
Nope.
So you're okay. So let me understand this. Let's say that I've been making guacamole for 15 years and I'm not part of that culture.
Yep.
And here you have somebody that's from that culture and they've been making it 2 months. You think their guacamole is going to be better than mine?
No.
So then somebody who's from outside the culture can do something better than someone who's in it, depending on the situation.
I don't believe that.
But you just agreed with it.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
You said if I was making it for 10 years and there was somebody from the culture that was making it for a couple months, that
Oh, you
mine
said
was probably better.
you said outside at first.
Yeah, me
Outside.
being outside.
Oh,
the
you
culture.
outside. Oh,
I'm
gotcha.
outside the culture, and I've been doing this
Oh.
for 10 years, making
Yeah.
guacamole every week. I've been
Yeah.
making it 10 years. Here you have somebody that's from that culture, but they've only been making guacamole for 2 months.
And they learn.
You
They
think
learn
theirs
from
is
their
going to be
family.
better than mine?
And they learn from their family.
Yeah, well, let's say I learned from their family too, or I learned from somebody that's from that region. But the only difference between me and them is I've been doing it longer and I'm not from that culture.
Trying to catch me up, brother. I see you.
I'm just trying to make sense of it.
I'm still gonna say no. I don't think anybody outside the culture can replicate anything from anybody's culture. I mean, think about like Jamaican food. You can't just go to any restaurant and get Jamaican food. It has to be made by the right people.
That's not true though. That's not true because the Jamaican food, they don't be making that Jamaican food there. They be importing it. They don't be making that frozen. They be up in there using freezer.
Ain't no way.
They be buying it wholesale, reheating it. Just because you put a black face in a Jamaican restaurant don't mean that's Jamaican food.
I've had Jamaican food in a lot of places, but the best place I ever had Jamaican food was in Chicago. And it was some real folks in there. I can't go to a restaurant maybe ran by a different culture and expect the Jamaican food to taste the same, because it probably won't.
I don't know. They got some Cajun restaurants up here, and there's some Chinese folks running them, and you wouldn't even know there's Chinese folks running them.
Yeah, that's what they had in Chicago too. There was a place called City of Thai, and I went there, and obviously you would think there would be a lot of Asian descent type of people, but there was Mexicans in the back cooking all the food. Now, was it good? Hell yeah, it was good. But if it was strictly all Thai folks, I think it would have tasted a little bit more authentic and just have that experience that comes with the food.
See, I don't agree with that because
you ain't no food connoisseur, bro.
Huh?
You from Colorado.
All right, and we got stuff in Colorado, but what I'm saying is, that's the same type of mentality that kept black people from being able to take credit for math, or even though I know people say, well, we came up with the math and stuff. I'm saying when we came up with there's a doctor that came up with, I think, the triple bypass heart surgery. Mm-hmm. It was like he couldn't take credit for it because there is racism and stuff like that, but it was like, oh, he's not white, so he can't do it as good as the white person no matter how much he contributes. I don't necessarily agree with that. From a psychological perspective, I could see, like, if you're trying to build your community and something is so subjective that you'd want to say, okay, let's not name him the best because it could do more harm than good. I could see it from that perspective, but just to say that anybody from that culture is better than anyone from outside that culture, I don't think that that's a strong argument.
I think when it comes to certain things, a lot of aspects of the culture, I don't think people can replicate it. Now, there might be some people who come close, but they've spent probably 25 years there. They got extended family, or they actually moved there to that place.
But we're all humans.
Yeah, but I don't think that you could still. You're still going to be looked at as outside of the culture.
And I get that.
Even people learn languages and they speak the language better than the people who are speaking it. For me, that's cool, but that does not automatically, for me, give them a pass into the culture, or to say that, to put them on some type of pedestal.
Not a pass or a pedestal, but just like they can do this as good or better than you. They don't have to be from that culture. So you're saying that you'd be able to tell the difference between, like, you don't know who made something, but There's this person who's outside the culture, this person who's in the culture. They cook up a dish. You'd be able to tell who's from the culture and who's not from the culture.
100%.
Really?
100%. I had a lady working
Every
a job,
time.
and every time I had a lady
You
who made a Mexican dish, arroz con leche, and I've had it before, made by mamas, aunties, authentic, the best of the best you can get, They got that little arm flap and stuff, you know what I'm saying? She made it, okay, and it did not taste. It was like buying a great value at Walmart. I applaud what she tried to do, and she has a Mexican husband, and she's white as snow, but she could not replicate
But that could have just been her skill set. Like she could be bad at cooking white food too. She could be like she may mess up a Parmesan chicken meal.
That's
She may mess that up. So I'm just saying, is it possible? I think it's possible that there are some people who are just able to pick up on things faster. They're able to learn something better. And I don't think that just because you're from a culture that necessarily means that you can do everything better than somebody that's not from that culture. Because sometimes a fresh set of eyes can, see something that somebody in something doesn't see.
Right.
Just look at what happened with McDonald's. The people that created McDonald's, the two brothers, they were running it and they were operating it. And an outsider that wasn't from that area, wasn't from California, that didn't do that, came in and saw a business opportunity and then started partnering with them. And then he started working with a lawyer who saw another opportunity outside perspective. He's not from the fast food culture, but he's from the lawyer culture, the law culture, the business culture. And then he was like, hey, you don't run a burger empire. You need to run a land empire and buy up all this land, lease it to the franchisees. And that's how you make your money. So I think sometimes an outside perspective can be just as valuable or more valuable than someone who's from that culture or someone who's from that area. It just depends.
I think it could be beneficial, but to replicate everything, nah. They can imitate it, and it might be decent enough to be accepted, but to replicate, nah. I don't see it.
Okay, let me ask you this. You're a football guy, right?
Yeah, retired.
Tom, do you think each team has their own culture? Each football team?
Yeah.
So there are players who, like Tom Brady, for example, he played on the Patriots for years.
Right.
That was a culture. He was a part of one culture. Yep. And then he went to Tampa Bay. Mm-hmm. And I don't know when the last time they won a Super Bowl was, but when he got there, they won.
Right.
He brought something into that Tampa Bay culture that then got them a championship. Mm-hmm. Now, you could say, well, Tom Brady ain't from Florida, or I don't know if he is. He's not from Florida. He's not from around here. He don't know how we get down. He wasn't raised in these schools. He wasn't raised around here. He don't know the lifestyle. But he came in and did something that people that were in that culture hadn't done for a while. Mm-hmm. So if someone can't come into a culture that they're not a part of and change anything, how do you explain that situation? Are people coming into cultures and doing something with it that the people there weren't able to do or didn't think of?
Again, I think it's imitated because it took him
so
a while.
He imitated that Super Bowl win?
It took him a while to get to the Super Bowl with the Bucs. Not like a long time, but it took him a few years to get that championship. Hold on, brother. Hold on.
How many years? I thought it was 2.
I don't know. 2 or 3. I don't know because I didn't watch. I know when they won it, but I didn't watch closely. You can look that up though and see. Came to Tampa Bay, won the championship. But here's the thing: even though he still won a championship, it still wasn't the same as a Tom Brady on the Patriots.
It was different.
But then after a certain point, they discredit his work as well when he was with the Patriots because of him airing down the balls or something like that. Allegedly.
Right. But that's allegedly right. But that's exciting.
But with him winning all those championships, I mean the Super Bowls in with the Patriots, it's not gonna be the same. When he won, it was just kind of like, It doesn't replicate the same feelings that he had with the Patriots because it hit different. He was excited for the guys because that was their first Super Bowl, but I mean.
But the point that I'm making is that he was a part of that. Even goes to my point more. He was a part of this established culture with the Patriots. He knows all their plays. He does all the things that way. He came into this new culture and he was able to win and do what people that were in that culture for years couldn't do.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of external factors that go into that. Coaches, players, things of that nature as well.
I don't know if they would have won without him there. Stop the cap.
I can't say yes or no because look at the Detroit Lions. They got Jared Goff from California. Or from the Rams out there in California, right? And then who went to California for him? Who did they trade? They traded somebody. But then you could say that about Jared Goff because he took the Rams basically almost to the Super Bowl.
So this is interesting because coming into this conversation, I'm more on Umar's side from psychologically, but I don't think objectively it's true that someone who's not part of a culture or from a culture can't come in and do better than people from that culture. Just look at the United States. I didn't even think of this. Look at the United States. You say this all the time. You know where I'm going. Look at the United States. There are people that are not from here, grew up dirt poor, third world dirt poor, walking to get their water, working every single day, breaking their back, no AC. They are not from this culture. And they come here, and within 3 to 5 years, they are more successful than the people from here.
Right.
How is that not the same as someone not from a culture? I'm not from this culture where they make this salsa, but I come in and I revolutionize the salsa game. I think that's possible. And we see it on a large scale with immigrants that come over here, especially African immigrants that come over here and outwork and outcompete the Black people that were born here.
That's their culture, though. Like, that's nothing new. It's not like they're coming to America and adopting principles from other cultures and doing them better. Because most of the time, if we're talking strictly about Hispanics, right, we'll say Mexicans, just to simplify it. Usually Mexicans work in construction or some type of landscaping, majority of the time, or restaurant business, right? All of that is their stuff. That's nothing new for them. They do that back in their own countries. So
I would disagree with that. I would disagree because if they were doing that, if they were able to do that in their own country, they wouldn't necessarily come over here to do it. But I would say that I would say that they come over here and they take the American dream to the extreme. They do it better than the people that were born here. That's what I'm saying. The American dream is part of American culture.
Well,
and
to an extent,
the American dream is you work hard and you can succeed. You can make it. You can get your slice of the pie. And then the average American, they maybe put in this much work. right?
Mhm.
For the American dream. But then there's people that come over here, not from the culture, and do the American dream better than the Americans do it.
But I think that goes back to their culture and who they are, though. That has nothing to do with they do it better than us because that's already who they are. They're not adopting this ideology of the American dream when they may some pieces of it. I'm not gonna say they don't do it at all, but they're already that product when they come over here, and then they become the final piece that just sells out. So they're already like that before they come. Because when I went to Germany, it was the same thing. I mean, most of those kids in school, they were learning multiple languages, going to be doctors, lawyers, all these different things already. And it was like,
So,
well,
do you
why
think
do
they
you
would
do
be
that?
more successful here coming than the average American, knowing multiple languages?
Yeah, of course.
So that's what I'm saying is like
Of course.
me, like let's say that I'd never made guacamole before in my life.
Yeah.
But in my culture, when I want to do something, I don't stop until I get it done. Like I have that work ethic. That's a part of my culture. So
Yeah.
whatever it is, whatever that trigger is that says, okay, I just learned how to make guacamole. I'm going to keep redoing it. I'm going to make guacamole 10 times a day to get better. But the people from that culture, they may not be trying to make it 10 times a day. They may only make it once a week.
Mm-hmm.
But because of something else within me or my culture, I may make it 10 times in a day. And then therefore, that's what leads me to being better at making it than them. That's all I'm saying is like,
I still don't see it, man.
you don't see it.
No. I don't believe it.
Okay.
Like I said, I think it could be decent. I think it could be accepted. But it's again, you're not going to be able to replicate those memories, experiences, feelings when they first had that stuff. You might be able to say, "This is good," but it's
that's
not
not
going
going
to
to
be
be the same. That's not the same thing, even with the people from the culture. If you're Mexican and you eat Mexican food, you're not getting the same experience 10 years later as when you first ate it.
You crazy.
You're not.
Yes, you are, bro.
No, you're not.
I swear.
I eat barbecue. That's something black people, right? I have barbecue.
Okay. Yeah.
There's a difference between me eating it now and back then. Like, I'm not getting the same exact experience. Like, there's Mexican restaurants or Mexican people in Mexico.
Yeah.
They mess up sometimes when they're cooking food. Everyone isn't a hit. So it's like to say that they're getting a 100%, their customer service always on point. No one was filling off that day. That could just be a limiting experience because you're not from the culture. So then the placebo comes in and you like, oh, they about to hook it up because they really from there. They really do it. So then you look past that. Maybe it tastes like ass this time. Oh, that's just the authenticity. That's just the authenticity. But let somebody else that's not from there come in with that same authenticity, and this tastes like boo-boo.
Nah. I think it hits. I have not been disappointed myself when it comes to other cultural dishes. I have not been disappointed once. It's taken me back to the same time I've had it the first time.
Even though it could be a different person making it.
It's never a different person making it.
So you gonna have limited experience.
No, I don't, bro. I swear. No.
If the same person is making it every single time, then how do you know? Like, how do you know that you don't go to another person from that culture and it tastes different?
It don't. It's the same.
Every single person makes it the same from that culture.
Majority of them, yes. I swear, bro. So my first time having carne asada fries was here in Colorado, right? In Colorado when we were in college, right? And went to Adolfo's, and that was the first time I ever had it. I was like, damn, this fine. This is the best thing ever. I mean, you would have thought I hit the lottery the way I was eating that thing, right? Been searching for it, right? Traveled a little bit. They didn't have it everywhere. Had it in Chicago, the same feeling. Same exact feeling I had when I first tried it. Come back to Colorado a few times. Had it in another place, locally, hitting. Same feeling, same everything. So that's why I'm so against what you're saying, because
they not making it authentic up in Adolfo's. They getting those ingredients shipped in. That's not homemade scratch
it's good.
That's from a wholesaler. They not making the tortillas there. They getting the so even that is just like the places that you're citing. Those are not authentic.
They are though. How are they not authentic?
Because authentic is okay. You were saying, all right, well, the jerk chicken from Jamaica, right? But if it already comes pre-made from an American company or a wholesaler that makes that food and you just order it, like that's how most of these restaurants operate, the supply chain. They're not actually making the food from scratch. They're ordering the food and then they're just assembling it.
Not the ones I've been to. Definitely not in Chicago.
The Adolfo's?
They gonna come get you, Goofy.
Adolfo's?
They gonna come get you, bro.
Adolfo's.
Adolfo's is only local to Colorado.
But you were saying it tasted the same in Adolfo's as in Chicago. Yes. And you're saying Chicago is authentic, right?
Yes, I would say so.
So then that would mean that Adolfo's would have to be authentic.
It is.
But if Adolfo's isn't authentic, then what is it?
How is it not authentic? The restaurants that you're probably talking about aren't going to be like local mom and pop shops, like local mom and pop shops. That's what I go to. So many of them are making it from scratch and putting it together. They're not ordering from.
Yeah,
the mom
and pop shops are the ones most likely to be doing that. Mom and pop shops are the ones most likely to be ordering the other stuff because they can't afford the higher quality ingredients.
No, ain't no way.
Mom and pop shops, dude, that's a misconception that because it's a mom and pop shop, they're back there cooking it from scratch. It costs more to cook it from scratch.
But not all the time. That's a misconception. No, it's not. That's a misconception.
It costs more to be cooking from scratch.
It does not. It costs more to buy a wholesale.
No, not when you factor in things like this. Okay, I come to you at your restaurant, right? Mm-hmm. I come to you and I want a burrito.
Yep.
Now, if we go make a burrito, you made a burrito, right? Yourself? Yeah. How long does it usually take you to make it from scratch?
We talking about just a regular burrito.
Yeah.
Not toasting it, nothing, just regular.
Right.
And what are we putting inside of it? Pause.
We could be let's say chicken. And I say chicken because,
because you're black.
No, I say chicken because when you cook it, like you can only leave chicken out for a certain amount. So you can only do that with beef too. But let's just say chicken and beef, right? There's chicken and beef burritos.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So
give or take probably 15, 20 minutes.
15, 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Is that usually how long it takes you to get one when you go to a restaurant?
Probably.
With all the other people there. It takes you by yourself. You just one-on-one, 15, 20 minutes. There's 20 people in the restaurant and they can still make a burrito in 15 minutes.
Yes.
That's because they're not making it from scratch.
They are.
See, okay.
But here's the thing. You got to think about prep, right? You and I prep before we prep stuff, right?
Yeah.
Well, we worked at places that have ordered it bulk, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you making fresh ingredients, right? For example, I used to work at Chipotle, so I had to be there early, 5:30 in the morning. And we made everything from scratch, except like the beans and tortillas and stuff like that. Everything else, like the pico, guacamole, All that was from scratch. We had to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
If you know you have fresh ingredients, you're going to prep them and prep enough for the day. And if you run out, you just run out. So that's why I say it's fresh, because it's already been made. They're just waiting to pull it out of the freezer.
But one thing that you're leaving out is that Chipotle has enough money to pay people and has enough money to pay staff to come in and do those things, where smaller mom and pop shops, they don't have the capital to have that many employees coming in and doing the prep, doing all these other things. Many times the boss that owns the shop is there as an owner operator, because they can't afford to make money and hire all these people. So when I'm saying like making stuff from scratch, you have to be able to charge higher prices to do that. But then also wait times. A lot of places that make things from scratch, you're going to have a longer wait time, but you have to have more staff. Mom and pop shops aren't typically able to do that.
Depending on what they're serving. Most mom and pop shops aren't going to have an extensive menu of what takes too long to prep or to cook. If you notice that, if you go to Mexican food truck, since we've been talking about Mexican folks, they're going to have the basics: quesadillas, tacos. They might have burritos. It's not really a Mexican traditional dish. That's just an American one. Maybe nachos, maybe some carne asada fries. It just really depends. But all of it's going to be inexpensive. It's going to be easy to cook. And if they're making it from scratch, it's not going to cost much.
I feel it. Look.
I get what you're saying, but I'm still going to go with the authenticity of the culture itself. And then I'm also conscious in what I'm spending my money on as well.
I probably would too. I would probably do that too.
That buys wholesale. Come on, bro. That's going to taste like ass.
I probably go with the one I thought was more authentic, but I don't actually know who's more authentic. I know that there's some Chinese people working there.
You gotta ask. But you gotta make connections with the people, because I got a Chinese lady that I go to, and hey, Chinese as they get, boy. And she be hooking up the food.
She be ordering wholesale, frying them chicken nuggets.
That's only my favorite, brother.
Hey, let's see what
Umar thinking of Pueblo. We went to that Chinese restaurant. They had nuggets. I remember that.
That is absolutely ridiculous. You know, and I know that is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely. You know, like I know, that is absolutely ridiculous. And from a cultural integrity perspective, this is not about Mr. Marshall Mathers. I don't have nothing personal against that man. But from a cultural integrity perspective, haven't they stolen enough from us? Haven't they appropriated enough from us? Haven't they robbed, steal, killed, enslaved, lynched, miseducated, mass incarcerated, politically dominated us enough that you mean to tell me that after 404 years, you got Black people running around playing defense attorney and cheerleader for white folk?
So, is that what Black people are doing? Are Black people playing defense attorney and cheerleader for Eminem?
Yeah, 100%.
How? Is he? Who's a better rapper then?
Out of who?
Eminem. Who's better than Eminem?
Lil Wayne.
Who else?
Nas, Jay-Z, Tupac, Biggie.
So the greats.
Method Man.
Method Man is not better than Eminem.
You crazy. You smoking crack.
Method Man
is better than Eminem on every level possible. every level possible. You don't believe me? Look into some of Method Man's music, his lyricism. They built the Wu-Tang Clan, bro. I would even put them above NWA as a group. They pushed the whole movement of freestyle in a certain way, writing your music a certain way. They brought a whole new wave and trend to rap culture and to the whole country itself. But I think black people get offended because they've listened to Eminem or they've been around their other counterparts that like Eminem and they've enjoyed the music, so they feel like it feels like somebody's taking a shot at them. So now they're like, "What do you mean? He's good. He rapped on a song with Drake, Lil Wayne, Kanye West. What do you mean? He rapped with 50 Cent. What do you mean?
Space Jam Jordans."
You're a fool, man. But yeah, I think they run around and being defensive and saying they're fighting on his side more than anything. I don't think they really understand what Umar is trying to say in terms of he's taking that from the culture. But then again, like I said earlier in the live, they've endorsed him. 50 Cent, Dr. Dre, Wayne, they endorsed him. So it's kind of like he's going against the black community because they've accepted him, right? When Wayne was bringing him out, 50, Dr. Dre.
But so when are we going to get past skin color?
I don't know.
Do you consider yourself racist?
Yo, how you watch a comment like that on live, bro? That's crazy. I am not a racist in my Karen voice.
That was racist right there.
Do I consider myself to be racist? No. Maybe biased, in some ways for sure, but for me to go out and dehumanize, okay, the definition of racism, right? Dehumanizing another culture or religion, whatever, race, whatever you want to say, I would never do that.
Is it just
holding people hope? Yeah, that's what racism means. Dehumanizing another culture. That's too much for me to hear.
Exercising like control and power over them.
Nah, it's dehumanizing. Look it up. Let's get the real definition.
All right.
Because then you go into deeper thing. You going into deeper stuff, bro. I thought dehumanizing was in there, but I might have made it up for my.
Done looked it up. Look at you.
No. It says dehumanizing.
Huh? No, I thought you were looking it up.
Oh, no.
I got it right here. It says racism.
What's that? Webster, okay.
A belief that race is a fundamental determinant of human traits and capacities, and that racial differences produce an inherent superiority of a particular race.
Go to the second one. That's the one that we probably all know.
A systematic oppression of a racial group to the social, economic, and political advantage of another. So that's what I'm talking about right there. Like control over, like exercising control over another group of people through oppression.
Yeah. So I said dehumanizing, kind of the same thing. You just went deeper to taking the control thing.
Is that dehumanizing though?
It is. It makes people less human. I mean, if we want to give an example, Hitler and Hitler's reign over Jewish people and creating a moment in history called the Holocaust. I mean, he didn't humanize them. He destroyed them as a people. I mean, he put these folks in gas chambers, bro, and killed them. Little kids and their family. Like, to me, that's dehumanizing. When you take everything from me, including who I am as a person, my dignity, my integrity, everything about me, and just diminish it as if I was just scum on the earth, to me, that's dehumanizing. For some people who might say they're racist or claim that they're racist, I don't know if anybody would ever claim that. They may not go that far to that, to dehumanize somebody. They might call them the N-word or a racial slur, or might do something of that nature. But for me, it's dehumanizing. Like,
So
I'll
what
give
about
another. What's that? Person who is
it
racist.
said racist? A person, someone who holds the belief that a race is a fundamental determinant of human traits and capacities, and that racial differences produce an inherent superiority of a particular race.
Yeah. I think
that sounded like what you were saying, but with culture. That someone from that culture will always be superior to me at a certain thing just because they're from that culture. No matter what their talent, ability, skill set. Like a disabled person could be making, not even have arms and be making something. And like they could be playing soccer, and because it's from that culture.
Nah.
That's not
racist, man.
That's not racism?
No, that's not racism.
That's not racism, but similar to it.
Nah.
Like that person is superior to me just because they're from that culture.
And we're back to the guacamole analogy, right?
Yeah, they're superior to me at a certain thing because they're from that culture.
I don't think it's racist or similar to racism, because this is when I said I'm going with the person who's been making it for 2 months but is from that culture versus you who's outside of the culture, who's learning, been practicing for 15 years. It's not racist because it's coming from this culture. If it wasn't for this culture, you wouldn't even know about this dish. You wouldn't even know about guacamole. You would never know how to make it in a certain way to dip your chips in or to taste a certain way. So I'm always going to go with them because this is theirs. This is their baby. They nurtured this.
Can you admit, though, that even though something came from something, someone else could do it better?
Can I admit that?
Yeah, like there's somebody taught you how to play football, right?
No.
No one taught you how to play. Was there anyone who ever taught you anything about football?
A TV.
And are you better than everyone you saw on the TV?
No.
They're better than you just because they taught you, or like, are you able to be better? I guess what I'm asking is, are you ever able to be better than someone who taught you something?
No.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. No.
Really?
Simply because it takes. And when I think about what you're saying, right, I think about Asian cultures with martial arts, right? There's usually somebody teaching you, sensei, master, whatever.
Right.
That master has put so much work and time in to become so elite that I may do the same thing, but I may never reach that same status.
Okay, but let's take Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan had basketball coaches in high school that taught him stuff, in college that taught him stuff.
Right.
They weren't as good as him. They didn't turn out to be as good as him. Are you saying that all of his coaches are actually better than him at basketball?
I think they are better at their. I'm gonna say yeah. I'm not even. No. Yeah. Because if it wasn't for them,
are better than him at basketball. LeBron James's coaches, some of his 100%. Coaches, 100%. some of their coaches are like short 100%. White dudes.
Yeah.
They're better than Michael Jordan. They could beat Michael Jordan in basketball.
In their prime, maybe.
No, man.
Bro, yes. If it wasn't for them people in their lives, Michael Jordan wouldn't be who he was.
But that's different. That's different than someone contributing and someone being better.
Listen, Steve Kerr is the coach of the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
Playing with Michael Jordan.
Better. He's not better than Steph Curry. He's not better than Steph Curry.
Who?
Steve Kerr is not better than Steph Curry.
What? You're tripping.
Steve Kerr, the white coach for the Golden State Warriors.
You're smoking crack.
Steve Kerr.
Better than Steph Curry. You ever see him play? But you can't say that. I've seen highlights of him playing.
Steph Curry is the greatest shooter of all time. What is Steve Kerr the greatest at? This is Steph Curry is the greatest shooter of all time.
Bro, Steve Kerr was a 3-point shooter.
And Steph Curry is Steph Curry, I think he holds the record now for the most 3-pointers ever made.
Yeah. He does.
So how is Steve Kerr better than him?
Because Steve Kerr is the one that taught him.
But that don't mean you better than somebody because you taught them.
I'm still the GOAT because I'm giving you the recipe.
Nah, that don't mean that. You can.
What you mean?
That don't mean that. Just because you teach somebody something, they can still take it with their own personality and skill set and do better.
Is LeBron better than Michael Jordan? Now, mind you, LeBron said he grew up watching Michael Jordan. Is LeBron better than Michael Jordan?
I look at that differently because LeBron, I don't think Michael Jordan actually taught LeBron James how to play.
What you mean?
Even though he may watch him play, there are plenty of players that he watched play that he's still better than. So that wouldn't be a good example because there are players that were coming off the bench that he watched play. But that doesn't mean that they're better than them because they played the game before him.
What do you mean? They paved the way for him to become LeBron James.
But that don't mean they're better than him.
Yes, they are.
That does not. So all the bench players that were sitting on the bench the whole season, maybe play 1 or 2 games, they're better than LeBron James because they played the game before him.
Many of them paved the way for LeBron to be who he is.
But that's not. I'm asking, are they better? Because you can pave the way. Yes. The bench players have no scoring records. Nobody knows their names. Yes. They average 2 points a game. They're better at the game of basketball than LeBron James.
They're in the league, so they're the elite. That's like saying somebody in the NFL, right? Compared to me, right? I'm not playing ball. Somebody right on the bench or on the practice squad, they're better than me because they're in the league.
I'm talking about right now. Right now, LeBron James, the player, right?
Yes.
You're saying the players that were sitting on the bench in the 90s,
yes,
that he was watching on TV,
yes,
that they are currently better than LeBron James because they played the game before.
Currently, they're old, okay? In their prime. If it's them versus LeBron, yes.
LeBron James right now.
LeBron
They're
James
all better than him because they put every player before LeBron James played is better than him simply because they played the game before him.
Yes, because they played elite players, man. Like Kobe Bryant, Allen Iverson, Dr. J, Larry Bird. Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
That don't mean that. I gotta plug this phone in.
They were better than LeBron, brother.
Just because they played before him.
Yes. There's players in football that I would take in their prime over any player today.
But we're not talking about specific examples. You're saying every single player that played the game before LeBron James is better than LeBron James.
Yes.
That argument doesn't hold up.
Yes, it does, because here's the thing. Those players, even if they didn't get the same shine as Michael Jordan and all the greats, they still played against those dudes. They may not have the highest numbers, but they still competed with the GOATs. Imagine coming off the bench and playing against Michael Jordan. Off the bench and doing a decent enough job to stay in the game. Come on, bro. Come on.
Your argument doesn't make sense because you're saying just because somebody did something before someone else, you're not saying. I could see if you were saying that in that time period, players were more skilled, which most NBA players that played back then even admit that today the players are more skilled than they were back then, and it's a different game.
No.
But what you're saying is that just the fact that you play, regardless of what environment it was in, just the fact that you did something before someone else, that automatically means that you're better than them at something. I don't agree with that.
Maybe to your point of not being better than them, but they're on the same level. I would put them at the same level.
That doesn't automatically mean that they're at the same level just because they did it before you.
I would say Steve
There are
Kerr
people-
is the same level as Steph Curry.
There are people that have been reading before I was born, and I can read better than them. There are people that have been, yes,
Cap, bro.
it is not cap.
It's
There are
cap.
people right now that are older than me who cannot spell,
Who?
who cannot read.
Give me an example.
I'm not gonna say any names, but there are people that are older than me who cannot spell, who cannot read better than me. There are people that are much older than me who cannot do things better than me, even though they were doing them before me. And the same applies with you. But we're going to say that they're greater just because they were born before us?
I won't say they're greater.
But that's what you're saying. You're saying
I said on the same level.
Nah, you can't just give. You can't. It has to be earned. It has to be earned, and it has to be a skill. You can't just say someone is better than somebody at something because they taught them or because they were born before them. Because different people operate differently. Like, there are people that were born in the 1960s, 1970s, who they learned about something and they never applied it. But then someone today could learn about Plato, Aristotle, Albert Einstein, and go on to be, a great physicist. They learned the same thing, and it may have even been that person that introduced it to them. But some people just take it further. I mean,
if that's what they feel they need to.
But you saying it don't matter how far you take it, that you better, they better than you no matter what.
I'm saying it's the same level. Because
now
you added extra parts of there.
If even at the same level.
We're talking
not at the same level just because you taught somebody how to do something.
Let's be a little bit clear.
Okay.
Let's go back to the analogy of basketball. Let's switch it to football, right? Because I wasn't a big basketball fan growing up. Football, okay. Who do I want to pick, man? There's so many to pick from.
Talk to the principal, but not the person, because I don't know that many football players. So I can't say who is better than who.
Football now versus then, the players were greater than the ones now, even the great ones that they say.
Which I'm not gonna disagree with that, but your argument was that if somebody teaches you to do something, then there will always be better than you no matter what.
Correct. So you know what? We'll make it more modern, all right? Dallas Cowboys, your favorite team. The wide receiver, I can't even think of his name. Number 88. I don't remember his name that plays for the Dallas Cowboys right now. He's a great receiver, right? But I'm always going to say Marvin Harris or is it Marvin Harris? Wow, I'm blanking. I need to look this up. Hold on. I'm blanking on my people.
Let's keep it there. Regardless of the players, you're saying that, for instance, Steph Curry's dad played in the league. Did you know that?
I did.
Steph Curry's dad played in the league. There is not even an argument anywhere where someone could objectively say, based on stats, that Steph Curry's dad is better than Steph Curry in their primes. It's not even close. But his dad taught him how to play basketball.
You sure?
Yeah.
Michael Irvin. He wore number 88 for the Dallas Cowboys. And the current wide receiver, if it wasn't for Michael Irvin, I don't think he would be there. CD Lamb, that's his name.
But that's different. That's different because you're taking one example. I'm talking about.
We can take the example with Steph's dad.
Yeah, so you're saying that there's no way
dad is the one that taught Steph Curry how to play ball.
But that doesn't mean that Steph Curry's dad will always be better than him because he taught him how to play.
He'll be on the same level.
No, they're not on the same level. Steph
If it
Curry
wasn't for his dad, he wouldn't be playing ball. And his
just
brothers
because you teach somebody something doesn't mean that you're always better than it. Maybe when you taught them it,
I'm not saying better. I said on the same level.
But even at the same level, they're not at the state. Steph Curry has a more prestigious career. When it was all said and done, he's still playing. But even right now, if Steph Curry stopped playing, he will have had a more prestigious career than his dad. So how are they at the same level when his dad was never the star of a team. His dad was never a scoring champion, an MVP that I know of. He didn't win championships. He wasn't considered the greatest shooter of all time. So how are they?
He was the all-time leading scorer in Hornets history.
Who?
His dad. His dad.
Okay, the Hornets history. Okay. You're gonna sit here and really argue that Steph Curry's dad is a better basketball player than Steph Curry?
Yes.
What's his dad's name?
Starts with a D, but I forgot.
You don't even know it, but you know his son's name.
I forgot. I forgot his dad's name because I didn't grow up in that time.
But if you didn't grow up in MJ's
Curry,
time, but you know his name because he's great.
Who?
Michael Jordan. You didn't really grow up in that time watching him play?
Yes, I did.
You were born in 95.
94.
Okay, 94.
And I'm pretty sure they won a championship in 94.
You weren't watching him. You were just born. What?
I grew up, and as he went out the NBA, I did watch.
That don't hold up, bruh. Do you consider Michael Jordan the greatest player that ever played?
NBA?
Yeah.
Nah.
Who do you consider the greatest?
The greatest?
Yeah.
For me, it's gonna be Allen Iverson.
Okay. So the only player that's better than Allen Iverson, you're saying, is the person that taught him how to play basketball?
Yes.
That don't hold up. So that person, whoever taught Allen Iverson to play basketball, is better than Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James.
They're on the
everyone
same
that's
level.
ever played.
They're on the same level, brother.
No, they not. There ain't no same level.
Yes,
people
there
are
is.
objectively better than other people at certain things, especially basketball when you can measure stats. And you cannot.
Hold on. Let's throw this in here, okay? Because I get what you're saying. They didn't have to take it that far back in the day, though. And they hit the limit back in the day. They hit the limit back in the day.
But even if you take somebody that was playing back in the day, you're pretty much saying that. Let's take Michael Jordan, for example. If someone said Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time, or that we were saying he was the greatest player at that time,
okay,
then you would have to say, well, no, he's not. Let's say his dad, who never played professional basketball, taught him in his 40s and 50s, that he's a better player than Michael Jordan. That would not be objectively true. Because there are many people whose first introduction was from somebody who didn't even play in the NBA. And to say that they're better than all the NBA players, that wouldn't hold up.
I think you could have been better than Michael Jordan.
But that's not what we're talking about. We talking because you're saying the person that taught you is always going to be better than you or at the same level than you. And that doesn't seem like it holds up.
Same level. In some aspects, not every aspect. You take it into everything, business and all that stuff.
No, I'm not saying everything. I'm saying at that thing.
At that thing, I think they're on the same level.
Nah, brother. Nah. Because
I think we just have more opportunities to take it to a whole another level than they did back then.
Perfect example. And you're gonna love this.
Okay.
There was a podcast once upon a time called From the Bottom Podcast, and we had a co-host on there, right?
Yep.
And you and this co-host got into it because of certain comments they were making about me. And they were saying that they introduced me to real estate, right? They introduced me to it.
Yeah.
And they were making some comments and you got upset and you were like, okay, you introduced him, but he actually went and got his license. He actually went and did X, Y, and Z. So even based on your argument then, it's possible for someone who teaches you or introduces you to something to be greater than the person that introduced you.
That was his limit, though. He hit his limit.
Exactly. So the person that taught Michael Jordan, maybe their limit was just, hey, let's go shoot basketballs at 7 o'clock at night. I'm going to shoot you. I'm going to teach you how to follow through. And that was their limit. But that doesn't mean that they're a better player than him.
I won't say better, but on the same level.
So me and that person are on the same level when it comes to real estate. The one that introduced me to it. They ain't closed no transactions. They did not. Come on, they ain't even got license. Stop playing. You know. Come on, man.
Let me answer, bro. Down. I'm gonna say yeah.
I'm done with you. You need some therapy, brother. I done broke it down every which way.
Hey.
No. You cannot compare somebody with skin in the game, license, closed transactions, over 1 million in transactions to a 0. That's not the same level.
For some.
That ain't the same level.
Well, this one's the same level, brother.
No. You tripping.
Hey.
Let me play this Umar. Hey.
That boy turned, boy.
Let me get Umar up on here. What are you talking?
Umar look disgusted.
You got black people running around after 404 years playing defense attorney and cheerleader. The fact that you got black people arguing for a white man to be considered the greatest of all time in an African art form speaks to how psychologically ill we are as a race of people. After all we have been through in this country, you got black men running around playing defense attorney for white folks, advocating for Marshall Mathers, nothing against Eminem personally, but for a black person to go out of their way to fight for any white person to be considered the greatest of all time in an art form that should be sacred to our community, our culture, and our people is absolutely ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. But let me address the Caucasian community.
Okay.
Because I've been called racist.
We're going to generate
what in the world
for your business from our
Hey.
How in the world?
It's probably a
get out of here, Neanderthal.
absolutely do not know.
Hey.
There's a few things we know. After 1,000 years of
come up and talk if you want to add a perspective. Click the link in the comment section if you want to come up and give your perspective.
Anything if it jeopardizes your power and control of other groups. Let me say that one more time. I'm talking to all you Caucasians who saw fit to have a temper tantrum on my timeline. I'm talking to all you Caucasians who saw fit to flood my inbox. I'm talking to all
get him
to address the hypocrisy.
He got on the live, so right here he got cut off of the live
because of what he was saying.
Yeah, he had to start a new live.
I really wanted to deal with the hypocrisy. If they cared as much about police brutality against black people as they care about Eminem being called the GOAT, if they cared as much about mass incarceration reform as they cared about Eminem being called the GOAT, if they cared as much for Black women being sexually trafficked as they care about Eminem being called the GOAT, we would have solved a lot of our problems by now.
Mm-hmm.
Calling somebody racist when your people are the greatest purveyors of racism and genocide in the history of humanity.
Yeah.
Calling someone racist.
And I want to pause that right there. So here's the thing. So, and this kind of came to my brain because of the guacamole thing. Because this is what we're talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about keeping it in the culture, right? That's ours. Eminem's been rapping for, I don't even know, 20 plus years maybe?
Yep.
Yeah. Did he rap when he was young or when he was an adult?
Young going into adult, I think.
Okay, so maybe the same as Lil Wayne? Maybe Wayne was a little bit more younger.
Yeah, Lil Wayne was actually signed and everything at 12.
Okay. Well, he was signed to a group. I'm talking about individual, like his individual career, when that was, whenever, probably 15, 16, whatever. If I asked you who was the GOAT between Lil Wayne and Eminem, who would you choose?
I would choose Lil Wayne because I like him more, but not because he's Black.
So you would call him the GOAT?
Between Eminem and Lil Wayne?
Yeah.
Am I saying who's greater between them or
who's the GOAT? Who's the GOAT to rap? And I gave you two choices, Eminem or Lil Wayne. Who you choosing?
I would choose Lil Wayne.
Okay. Now, would you say that Eminem is pretty good? Would you say that he's kind of up there with Lil Wayne in terms of lyricism?
Yeah.
Okay. So he does it similar, right? We could say that. Okay. He does it similar.
He doesn't do it similar. They have completely different styles.
We're talking about lyricism, though. We're not talking about styles. We're not talking about how the delivery or how they rap or anything like that. We're talking about lyricism, wordplay, right? Because nobody has ever come close to Wayne's wordplay, right? There's been talks of people, certain rappers, and Eminem is one of them, that say that he has similar wordplay to Lil Wayne. Okay. Eminem does it, right? He does the wordplay like Lil Wayne, but you're going to choose Lil Wayne over Eminem. For one, because you like him. Hold on. For one, because you like him. Lil Wayne is also Black, which makes him relatable to you. So even though Eminem does it similar, he's still decent enough to be accepted. Wayne's gonna be the GOAT because not only because he's good at what he does, but he's also Black.
That's not why.
To all people.
No, that's not why I'm choosing. One, I would argue
it's over, bro.
No,
it's over.
They're not. They're not similar.
Eminem's
style is different. Like his lyricism is different. Their rhyme patterns are different. They're completely different artists. Like that's.
If we're talking terms on lyricism,
we got Pan-African in the building. A5. Come up.
Who?
Come up and let us know what you think.
That's buddy from last time.
Yeah, come up. Right now, we're debating on whether someone who is white can be considered the greatest rapper.
Did you say his name last time on the live?
I'm not sure.
Oh, it's just C Dot.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is you're trying to draw a comparison between something where you're adding ingredients and just a personal preference. To me, this would be like saying
Wayne comes from the culture. He comes from Black culture, and
so does Eminem. Eminem
does not come from Black culture.
Eminem comes from rap culture, though. He was battle rapping before he made it as a rapper. Lil Wayne never battle rapped.
You saw 8 Mile don't mean he battle rapped.
No, there are actual videos of Eminem battle. He was a battle rapper before he became famous. He was a battle rapper. He would rap on the streets, actually battling people.
But that wasn't a Black culture thing, though.
Yeah, battle rap. What was it? Who came up with battle rapping then?
That's like an East Coast type of thing.
That's still rap.
That wasn't a whole states thing. You couldn't go to California and see
Detroit,
battle rap
they
like that.
battle rapped in Detroit.
East Coast thing.
But
I
they
think
still battle rap there.
New York probably started that.
So are you saying that because I like Lil Wayne more than Eminem, that I only like him more because he's black, and that has nothing?
I didn't say that. Hey,
but that's what you said. You said they're the same. Pretty much, you said they're the same artist.
Ain't no pretty much. The lyricism is good, right? But he's also relatable, and that's majority of that's because he's black.
He's not relatable. Lil Wayne is not relatable to me. I don't have diamond teeth. I didn't grow up in New Orleans as a blood. I don't say Wody. I mean, I ain't got face tattoos. Like, he's not relatable. His
Maybe not in that way, but you
relatable.
can relate to some of the things he was saying. Not
Like
everything. I mean,
I cannot relate to 99% of what Lil Wayne says. He don't talk
cap.
about the race stuff.
That's cap.
I don't. What does he talk about that I can relate to?
Cap.
He talks about sleeping with women and doing drugs and
what you've done.
What?
Sleeping with women.
Okay, Eminem talks about that. You gotta say something.
You
gotta say something he don't talk about though.
Smoking weed, getting money, sleeping with women. What else is Wayne talked about that I know of?
Eminem talks about that too.
Who?
Eminem.
Sleeping with women? I ain't never heard him talk about sleeping with women. I've never heard him talk about money either. I heard talking about drugs.
And you cannot consider Lil Wayne talking about millions of dollars as the same as me getting my life. He's talking about money in a different way. He's not talking about it in the way that I think you are thinking about me when it comes to like generational wealth. He's not sitting here like, start a trust fund.
Now
he's talking about throwing dollars on strippers and buying diamond chains.
You've done all that stuff too.
I have not done that. I have never done that. I have never thrown a dollar bill on those strippers.
He has thrown dollar bills in a different way. We're not going to get into specifics. And he has also had necklaces and jewelry and stuff like that.
So what is your point? Because you were trying to, it sounded like you were saying Eminem and Lil Wayne are similar, Eminem is not the authentic thing because he's white.
Correct.
And you think
even though lyrically he is good, most people are going to choose Lil Wayne, even including yourself, based off if we're talking about purely based off lyricism, right? And rap is black culture, right?
If we're going off lyricism, Eminem is better.
No, than Lil Wayne?
Yes.
Oh yeah, you're white. You're white.
If we're going off of flow, Lil Wayne is better.
You're smoking. Yeah.
If we're going off of lyricism,
you're smoking.
And being able to just rap.
Yeah. You're saying Eminem is better than Lil Wayne.
I have not heard Lil Wayne come close to, when it comes to lyricism, to some of the things that Eminem has done.
You're crazy.
What song?
You're crazy. Because then if you're going to say that, then I'm going to say, well, if it wasn't for Wayne, Eminem wouldn't be where he's at. It goes back to what I said before.
Eminem put out his first album in 1996, I believe.
Okay.
Lil Wayne's first solo album was 1997.
Yeah, because he was part of a group.
But his first album was 1997.
Okay.
So
which
Lil Wayne did not teach Eminem how to rap.
How old is Eminem?
Eminem is older than Lil Wayne, I believe.
Okay.
Eminem was born in the 70s. I think Eminem was born in the 80s. Or Eminem was born in the 70s. Lil Wayne was born in 1982.
You got my people going crazy in my texts right now. They said he cannot believe Eminem is a better lyricist than Lil Wayne.
They tell him to comment on the video. Come on, man.
They scared, brother.
Like the video, comment.
Yeah, they like.
Come up and share your perspective. Come up here. Tell me to my face. That's white people stuff. Texting people. Come up here. Since you from the culture, since you rocking Wheezy, you Wheezy, would Wheezy do that?
Yo.
Wheezy pull up with the banana clip. Like Chiquita, what you doing? Come on.
Hey.
Run up in your house, shoot your grandmother up. Then you text me. Come on up. Come on.
They can't believe you, brother. To say he's better is a.
But your argument doesn't logically make sense.
It does.
You're saying because
Lyrically
Lil Wayne is black, he's better.
No, I'm not saying because he's black, he's better. But rap culture is black culture, right? Wayne comes from black culture. He's born in one of the most blackest states, Louisiana, bro. Come on now,
but he's not talking about the struggles of black people in a lot of his songs. He's talking
to an extent.
He's talking about rich black person stuff, balling out,
not all the time.
With women. How many?
Do black people not do that?
In almost every song? No, we're not just talking about regular sex. We're not just talking about regular stuff. We're talking about Lil Wayne talking about rich people stuff.
Yeah.
That, I got 10 women on my.
Yeah.
We not living like that, bro.
Some of us have experienced that.
But most black men are not living like that. Most black men, I was hitting it from the back and I fell asleep. I didn't even know that I fell asleep.
Yeah.
What?
That's happened to a few of us.
Cocaine off her brute. Like what?
Yep. Some people have done that. That's not far-fetched. You may have not experienced it, and I may have not experienced it.
But you were talking about me. You said I picked him because he's more relatable.
I said, hold on, you missing. I said lyricist, and I said relatable in terms of he looks like you. So you can understand, even if you don't relate to like doing cocaine off a stripper's body, you may relate to growing up in the hood and some of the things he says about those things.
I cannot relate to them because I didn't grow up in the hood like that.
Yeah.
I did not grow up in the hood like that.
So if he said that in
17th Ward of New Orleans hood,
no, he said he was sleeping on the floor
every day.
He said he was sleeping on the floor.
Comparable to how I grew up.
Hey, he said he slept on the floor. Have you not slept on the floor?
That's not hood. That doesn't mean that's not the same as the hood. I was sleeping on the floor in a semi-safe environment. I wasn't sleeping on the floor in the hood. I wasn't sleeping on the floor where you walk outside and there's a dead body and there's a group of people looking to shoot you for no reason, all like that. That's not how I grew up. We grew up broke, but it was still like a semi-safe environment.
Lil Wayne grew up broke. He grew up broke too.
So did Eminem. He grew up in 8 Mile. One of the worst
so you're saying you can relate to Eminem?
I'm saying if you're gonna say that I'm relatable to Lil Wayne because he grew up broke.
You're saying you can relate to Eminem?
Yes, I can relate to Eminem growing up broke, and I can relate to Lil Wayne growing up broke. But I cannot relate to Lil Wayne being a gangbanger and shooting himself and all the other things that he talks about. We're not.
None of those are far-fetched. You experienced those in your life.
I experienced what?
A lot of the stuff he talks about.
Like what?
You been with women?
You talking about basic things. That's not because of that's not cultural.
What has he said that was out of pocket? That was so far-fetched about having sex with women?
You really don't know. You just want me to say, you want me to cuss. You want me to cuss on here so you can laugh. I'm not stupid. I'm not stupid.
I'm just asking the question, bro. Tell me.
You know what he be talking about. That's why you stopped listening to him.
I still
know what he be talking about.
My favorite song is I can't say it, but yeah, I sent it to you recently. He said I gotta name Keisha. She a real that's all y'all.
See who too? Nobody talking like that.
Who? We might need to pull out my track record, brother. I was living like Lil Wayne.
Let me put this Umar back up.
Spencer, you made me want to cuss. Yo.
People are the greatest purveyors of racism and genocide in the history of humanity. I find it quite hypocritical. Brothers and sisters, I'm in Fort Worth, Texas, 13th annual Kwanzaa tour, and it'll probably be the last because next Kwanzaa will be at FDMG. This is probably my 13th and final Kwanzaa tour because next Kwanzaa will be at FDMG. Hit the Cash App.
Okay.
$ FDMG School.
Hit the Cash App.
Hit the Cash App. $ FDMG School. And FDMG School been disturbed.
It's a fact.
Yo.
The new economy, average people.
Disturbed. Upset. Because your Caucasian privilege has been disturbed. Upset.
Hit the link if you want to come up and give your perspective.
Has been disturbed. You think you have a right to invade Black people's space.
Yeah.
You think you have a right to invade Black people's space.
Why he get on the bed like that?
You have a right to tell you you're not welcome. When you always tell us we're not welcome. Did you forget we had to fight for our children to go to decent schools because y'all kept us out? Did you forget we had to fight in order to work in the armed forces?
All right. So when he's talking about pretty much white people being hypocrites because they're the quote unquote racist ones, do you think that Eminem has done anything racist, or do you think that this is just a general argument?
I think it's a general argument. I don't know if Eminem's really done anything that hasn't been for Black culture. Because again, and I think this is probably why a lot of people have accepted him, because he kind of grew up in Black culture. Growing up, I think he grew up in Detroit, right? Something like that. I don't know for sure if Detroit. I might be wrong. Don't quote me. But he grew up. I don't know if he grew up in Black culture or around Black culture. Obviously around for sure. But most of his success is contributed from Black people. If it wasn't for 50, it wasn't for Dre, if it wasn't for him growing up in Detroit, one of the best places for music to thrive, then
what other?
So I think it's just a general statement. I don't think he's really done anything to Black people or
Did Lil Wayne?
Did Lil Wayne what?
Lil Wayne got it out the mud?
Yeah. I don't think did he diminish Black people? How did he diminish? How did he diminish the culture?
Going around, I think Lil Wayne has talked about killing more Black people in his songs than Eminem.
I can't confirm because I wasn't there.
You know what song have you heard Eminem talking about killing other Black people?
I don't listen to his music, so I can't say anything.
I haven't heard any. He talks about killing his wife and his mom.
That's why
he don't talk about killing other Black people.
The only songs I've heard is like Not Afraid, like his mainstream stuff. I haven't heard anything else other than that.
So you don't even know if he's better than Lil Wayne. You don't even know.
From what I've heard, mainstream, Wayne is better.
Yeah, but if you took some mainstream Lil Wayne songs, you could say the same thing about Lil Wayne. There's some things like on his rock album that he made, Prom Queen, the Prom.
That was a good song.
That was a good rap song.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I didn't like it at first, but now I liked it. Yeah.
He was spitting.
It was hitting, especially on BET.
He was spitting
with the video. Yeah,
he was spitting on that song.
Yeah, because he was showing how versatile he was.
That doesn't mean you spitting.
He was. What'd you want him to say?
He wasn't even really rapping. He was the Prom Queen. The Prom Queen. He was
Let's
not
just go.
spitting on that song
He was spitting, bro. What you mean? How was he not spitting? Tell me how he wasn't spitting.
because he was singing. He
That-
wasn't spitting.
Can Eminem sing? No, he can't.
Eminem does sing in some of his songs.
I've never heard him sing ever.
You don't listen to him.
Because he trash. Well,
You don't listen to him to know if he sings.
garbage. He is
You
garbage.
just catering to your people that watching because they
Yeah.
hating.
Garbage.
They hating. He a better rapper than them too. That's
Who?
why they don't want to come up
Better than who?
than them, than the people watching. Your people. That's
They
texting.
from out there. They from D town.
And he better than them. He a more successful rapper than them.
They don't rap.
Because they not good like that.
They never wanted to rap.
What they want to do?
They
Trash. Trash. Eminem better at that than them. He was born before them. How old are they?
He ain't better. 30, about to be 33.
He older than that. He's better than them.
Yeah, he old.
Based on your analogy, Eminem is older than Lil Wayne, so he's automatically better.
But he didn't give Wayne the game though, brother. Who gave Wayne the game? Who gave Wayne the game?
Me.
No, Birdman.
Birdman. And Lil Wayne is, don't you say Birdman is better than Lil Wayne.
Yes.
I already know what you're trying to do.
He created Wayne, who created Drake.
So Birdman is a better rapper than Lil Wayne and Drake.
Yes.
Even though Birdman himself says that Lil Wayne is a better rapper than him.
Because Birdman already hit the limit, brother. He can't do more. He could not do more. Wayne could do more different times.
Because he's a better rapper.
No, he's not. That's like saying Drake is better than Lil Wayne, and he's not.
That's not the same argument.
Drake or Lil Wayne, who you choosing?
So Biggie Smalls.
Yeah.
Birdman is better than him. Because he was doing it before him.
Who's better? Biggie or are you saying Biggie's better than
Biggie or Birdman?
Birdman.
Are you trolling now?
I'm not trolling.
You trolling. All Birdman does is go, brrr. You hear me?
That's iconic.
You
it's like
hear me?
Gucci Man, Bird, like that's iconic. Birdman's better than Notorious B.I.G.
Hey. But they say I'm not from the culture.
Hey, it's okay. They say Biggie's better than Tupac.
That's more of an argument.
It's not. One was actually living that lifestyle versus one who wasn't. Even Biggie's mom came out and said that he was not doing any of those things. Hey,
Neither was Pac.
He shot at the police. He spit on people. Yeah,
He shot at off-duty officers that he didn't know were the police.
Still police. They still shot at
That's
him.
not the same thing.
He still shot at him, brother. They still police.
That's not the same thing. You can't take credit for shooting at the cops and you didn't know they were the cops and then make it seem like, oh, I'm so tough because I shot at the cops.
He is tough. He shot at the police.
Nah, he shot at people
that were police officers
that he didn't know were police.
Didn't know.
And now he gets some type of street credit.
Yeah. He ran up on him.
No, he didn't. He was
Should've
defending. He was defending.
Hey, all in all,
he went to prison though.
Umar was right. Eminem cannot be the GOAT. He would never be the GOAT. He'll never be the GOAT of anything when it comes to Black culture. I'm always going to choose somebody who is the GOAT of Black culture when it comes to rapping, and it ain't gonna be Eminem. Plain and simple. And as the great Umar Johnson would say, you the C word that ends with an N. because you think Eminem is better than Lil Wayne.
I didn't say that.
You did say that.
I said that he's a better lyricist.
He's not.
But I already said that I
said
like
you.
Lil Wayne more. I think he's a better artist.
Yeah. That don't make sense. How is he a better artist?
Well, someone could be a better artist but not be a better lyricist. Because you can make better songs, or I could just have a preference for Lil Wayne because I like the songs that he makes. But you could still be a better lyricist
Because
than somebody.
Because he's black.
Nah. See, you kept saying that that's not what you were saying, but it was.
That's part of it there. Yeah, it's because he's black.
Nah.
He looks like you, bro.
That's not why.
Black
there are
people.
other rappers that look like me who I think Eminem are better than.
Who?
Who do I think Eminem's better than?
Yeah.
Eminem is better than 99% of black rappers.
Oh, yeah, they canceling you. They taking your black card.
Eminem is better than 99%
They are
of black
taking
rappers.
your black
And here's a simple test. If you're better than Eminem, just put your resume up to his.
Let's do it.
He murders almost everyone he gets on a song with.
No, he doesn't.
Who
he didn't murder Dre. He didn't murder Lil Wayne. I don't even think he did a song with 50. Maybe he did. He ain't never murdered anybody.
Go listen to what 50 Cent says about him. Okay. Go listen to what 50 Cent says about Eminem.
But, Umar is right. I think we have to protect the culture and stop allowing people to come in, and even though they're good at it, stop allowing them to come in to become on this pedestal like people have put him on, because they're defending him and saying that he's better and that he's the GOAT, and that's not true. You can't be the GOAT of something that you wasn't even born into or born for.
No black person was born into being a rapper, really.
Our relationship.
But you out here proving Dr. Umar right.
My Eminem is Dr. Dre is Eminem's. Eminem to me is what Dr. Dre is to Eminem.
Yeah.
So to disrespect him in any way, it's just you're out of pocket. You're not even following the chain of command.
Yeah. Brother.
You gonna make me say the C word on here, and I'm gonna get
brother.
You gonna make me say it. I don't believe in that. Okay, then the Eminem can say the N-word, and then he's black. Eminem's black.
That has nothing to do with it.
No. If y'all gonna embrace it like that, and y'all gonna glaze him is what the young people say nowadays. If you gonna glaze him like that, then he's black. He can say the N-word.
One, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not glazing nobody. I only like my donuts glazed. Two, you can't really name too many better rappers than Eminem. Plain and simple.
Are you kidding me? You talking about like in today's world? Like modern time?
Any time period.
J. Cole, better. Kendrick, better. Who else you want? You want some old school
J. Cole has already said that Eminem is one of the greatest.
No, he did not say that. Ever. Pull it up. Let me hear this.
Let's go. Let's see.
We're gonna talk about why he said that, if he said that. Because this is what Umar's talking about. People endorsing this and allowing them to come and infiltrate the culture. You let them.
You about to get your feelings hurt by your homie J. Cole.
Let's see. And I seen this interview. I ain't hear nothing about Eminem though. I must have skipped.
When I had the song "Let Nas Down" and I talked about like hanging his raps up on my wall, he wasn't the only one. It was like a very select group of like top-notch people that I worship. You know what I mean? And that Eminem was literally at the top of that list. The song just sound like.
Oh, not no longer a J. Cole fan. But again, hold on. He's talking about strictly off of being an artist. He's not talking about what a culture. He would not call
He's
Eminem.
trying
the
to
GOAT.
change it.
He
He's
would
talking
not-
about, that's what we're talking about, rappers.
He would not call him the GOAT of with
He
black
said Eminem is at the top of his list.
Ain't no way.
Those are his words.
I would put 50 Cent over Eminem.
But J. Cole, who you just said is better,
Yeah.
is saying that
Better
when he
than-
wasn't even known yet,
Yeah.
Eminem was already known. And you've said
Not 50
that
Cent.
if
to Dr.
somebody
Dre.
was doing something before somebody else, that means that they better.
On the
So
same
Eminem
level.
better than J. Cole.
He on the same level as J. Cole. He's not better than J. Cole.
So they're on the
Same.
same level. So then how can you say that J. Cole is better than Eminem if they're on the same level?
I'm just saying to your point because you're saying is he better? I'll say it to your point because you're saying is he better or equal? I'm gonna say
I
J.
didn't ask
Cole.
that. I said who's better, and you said J. Cole. Now you're saying they're equal. Which one do you actually believe?
J. Cole is better, 100%.
So they're not equal.
No.
So why'd you say they're equal? Which
didn't
time
say-
were you lying?
I didn't say they were equal.
Yes, you did.
J.
We
Cole-
go run it back.
J.
Rewind
Cole is
it
better, bro.
a minute if you're watching this. Rewind it a minute.
J. Cole is better.
But you said earlier, if somebody did something before somebody else, then that means that they're either equal or better, the person that did it first. And Eminem did it first. So based on your definition, Eminem is better than J. Cole.
I can't say that because I don't listen to Eminem.
But you didn't need to listen to them. You just said strictly because somebody did it before them, they're better.
Yeah.
You said Michael Jordan's dad is better than Michael Jordan at basketball because he taught him how to play.
Yeah.
He did it before. So Eminem was rapping before J. Cole. So he's better.
Was he though?
Yeah.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
What age did Eminem come into the game?
Like his album came out, I think, in 1996, I believe. J. Cole was not a known artist in the 90s.
J. Cole was born in 85, bro.
So when he was what, 8 or 11? He was 11 years old.
He was rapping.
And Eminem was rapping before his first album came out.
Was
I
he
think
though?
his first. Yes,
I don't know.
he's
He owes,
rapping for years.
he owes a lot of success to Dr. Dre. I think Dr. Dre is a better rapper than him.
Then Dr. Dre's better than J. Cole.
I would agree.
You'd agree that Dr. Dre's a better rapper than J. Cole?
100%.
Okay. So then Eminem's better than J. Cole based on what you're saying.
Nope.
And Dr. Dre's better than J. Cole.
I don't know.
And Dr. Dre's better than Tupac.
I would
He's
agree.
doing it first. A better rapper.
I would agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lyrics?
Yeah, I agree too.
How many Dr. Dre songs you know?
Probably majority of them.
What's your favorite Dr. Dre line?
Ooh. Probably his song with Snoop Dogg, Gin and Juice.
No, I need to hear the exact line.
Oh, you want to hear the exact lyric?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's tough. I can't even. You put me on the spot.
Because you don't know any. Your favorite, you
made me blank, brother.
You looking stuff up right now. I see it in your glasses. I see the reflection.
You made me blank.
Look at his reflection. Look at Chain. He looking up lyrics.
I'm gonna look it up. I can do that. That's free.
Why? You supposed to know it. You saying
Nah.
that he better lyrics, but you can't name any. But you know some J. Cole lyrics.
Cause in my head, that's a long time ago, brother.
Nah. You quoted Tupac,
No, I
and
didn't.
that was a long time ago.
When?
With Brenda. Brenda
Bro,
got a baby.
I literally listen to that song like 24 hours a day. It felt like.
But you wasn't listening to Dre, but he's so much greater.
'Cause
Dre greater,
yeah,
but you
I'm
were
talking
listening to
about
Pac more.
Hey, equally, brother, equally. But hey, like Umar said, don't let these people infiltrate, and y'all letting them infiltrate.
Listen, we about to wrap things up because unlike some, he capping.
Who?
He don't really believe Dr. Dre is better than J. Cole.
I do.
He don't. His arguments fall apart. He was
They don't
saying
fall apart.
if you do something before somebody else, you're better.
Yeah.
But Eminem did it before J. Cole, but he said J. Cole is better.
Yeah.
Fell apart.
Yeah.
Fell. Boom. Dissected that.
No, it's not dissected.
Didn't line up. So now,
another example. Being a father. Who's better? You or your dad?
it depends on what aspect of father.
Your dad. Your dad reached a certain limit, and now he passed the torch to you for you to be better than he was. But he taught you the game. He the GOAT.
But there's not metrics really that you use in the same way that you can use in sports or accomplishments. Really.
What did those people tell Michael Jordan that somebody else couldn't tell him about basketball? The average person on the couch.
Well, it's not just about what they told him, it's about what they taught him.
They're the GOAT. They created Michael Jordan. If it wasn't for them, he would not be Michael Jordan.
Nah.
You're crazy.
So you're saying right now, there's no child that was ever a better parent than their own parent. Yeah.
Yep, that's what I'm saying.
And you a damn lie. you a lie. That's the whole point. You want your children to do better than you did.
Not everybody. Maybe financially, but not on a morals and beliefs type of level. You still hold the same ones your parents had. And you treat your kids the same way they did. They did you.
Want them to do better. Want to instill them with lessons that you learned the hard way.
Hey, they got to learn the hard way too.
So there's no parenting hasn't gotten better since the beginning of time, pretty much. The first parent was better than thousands and thousands of years of parenting. So back when they was sacrificing twins, that was better parenting than if you have twins today and you don't sacrifice them.
I can't confirm or deny because I've never heard of that before.
You've never heard of twins being sacrificed?
I've never heard of people sacrifice. That's not in my culture, brother.
But that exists.
That's not my culture, though, so I can't speak to that.
But you can speak to it.
I can't.
Did you ever play basketball?
No.
You spoke to it even though you never played?
I never played professionally or on a team.
Okay. You can still speak to things that aren't in your culture. You spoke on...
It's going to make me look... It'll make things look a certain way because I'm not a part of that.
But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about... I think you can say, if somebody has twins, you probably shouldn't kill one of them. I don't think you have to be a part of that culture to say that.
I can't speak on that because that's not my... I stay in my own lane, brother. I can't speak on what another culture is doing. It's like I can speak on people in Africa. Africa where they're cutting off they're circumcising women. I've heard about that before. I can speak on that, but I can't speak on another culture killing a twin or not.
Yes, you can.
Nope.
You can speak on other cultures doing stuff.
Like what?
Like what I just said. If there's a culture out there where they believe in sacrificing a kid because one of them was a twin, okay, I can speak on that and say I think it's wrong. I don't think you have to be from that culture to be able to say that something is wrong. Just like I don't think you have to be a woman in order to say that you don't think abortion is cool. Like there are plenty of things that you can speak on even though you're not a part of a certain group or a certain culture when it has to do with something that's considered evil or inhumane.
But if I don't view it like that, then, there's not really much to speak on.
You don't view that as inhumane, killing somebody because they're a twin?
I can't speak on that because that's not my culture.
You don't consider it humane? If black people were doing it, would you consider it inhumane?
Would I consider it inhumane?
Yeah. Because earlier you were saying you're not racist because you don't dehumanize people.
Yeah.
So you can't say that
Are
something
you
is
racist?
You can't say something is dehumanized.
Are
You
you
can't say something is
are you racist?
Come again?
Are you racist?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But back to what I was saying, you can't say something is dehumanizing if you're not from that culture.
I can't say what? I can't say anything. Say that
You're
again.
saying that you can't say whether something is dehumanizing if you're not from that culture.
Yeah, because
That-
what they view as dehumanizing is not going to be the same as mine.
But I'm saying what you view as dehumanizing. I'm not saying do they view it as dehumanizing. I'm asking
for them killing their
if
twins.
you think that what they're doing is dehumanizing.
Yeah.
When they kill a baby because they're a twin, do you think that that's dehumanizing? Just the act in and of itself, absent any culture, just that. That's dehumanizing.
Yeah. Are we talking about like physically or like abortion?
Physically killing somebody because they're a twin.
Their family did it.
Regardless of who did it.
If we're talking about family, yes. But if it's some random person on the street, I can't really comment on that.
What do you mean?
Because if it's their family doing it, yes. Like why would they be trying to kill their own flesh and blood? But if some random dude that does a drive-by and happens to shoot bullets and it hits one of the twins, I mean,
no, we're not talking about a coincidence. We're talking about Sally and Sarah were just born.
somebody kills them
twins.
because they're
And
twins.
it's sanctioned like, okay, hey, you had a twin, pick one. We're gonna kill this other one.
Yeah.
That's not dehumanizing.
Yeah, but cultures do it overseas. So
But you can still call it dehumanizing even though you're not part of that culture, right?
I can speak on universal law of being a human. Yeah.
So final question then. Do you consider that dehumanizing?
What?
When a twin is killed because they're a twin.
I think
And
killing
they're
of
not
anybody,
a part of your culture.
I think killing of anybody, regardless of culture, is dehumanizing and wrong.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
But again, I can't speak on the people who do it. So
You can speak on them. You just don't want to.
the American way is to mind your own business and stay in your lane, brother.
You don't identify as American though.
What do you mean? I was
You
born
don't
here.
identify as an American.
I was born here.
You identify as American?
I was born here. Where what else would I identify as?
But I'm asking you, do you identify as an American?
That's what's on my passport. American.
But do you identify as being an American?
Why do I need to identify as American if I live in America?
Do you identify as being American?
Why do I need that if I live here?
I'm not asking you that. I'm not asking you why you would need it. I'm
Guys-
asking you if you identify as being an American.
If another American asked me if I was an American, I'm going to say yes.
You would say yes?
Yes.
So you identify as being an American.
I am proud to be an American, brother.
So yeah, so you identify as being an American, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So you identify as being an American. All right. So anything Americans do, you subscribe to that.
In terms of what?
You said that you're an American, so you mind your business. So you're using your identity as an American to dictate your behavior. So does that go for everything or just things that
That's not my identity.
you said it was? You said you identify as an American.
I didn't say identify. I said I would say I'm American, but I'm not
I
identifying.
said yes or no. Do you identify as an American? And you said yes.
To your question, but I wouldn't. That's not my whole identity, though.
Not your whole identity. I'm just saying that's something.
That's just where I was born, is America. So I'm American.
That's a part of your identity.
It's where I was born.
So you already answered yes.
I think that goes for everybody, including you. You were born here. You're American.
Nah.
Where you were born at?
Here.
In America.
Yeah. I don't
So,
identify as an American.
what do you identify as?
African.
Interesting. You're from Africa?
Ancestrally.
Yeah, spiritually. Okay.
Mhm. Biologically, some would say.
Oh, okay. Phenotype type stuff. Okay, I got you. Some would say probably, you're white too, so I don't know.
Perhaps.
Yo.
I'm a bit of a muggle.
Good. Little mulatto
Mud
mutt,
I'm a
mulatto.
mudblood.
Mud blood, yeah, I see that. So you're an African who lives in America? Okay.
Yep.
Interesting. All right.
My nationality is American.
Which is part of your identity.
I don't consider it that.
So if you got a passport, what would it say?
The passport would identify me as African American,
No, it would identify you as an American.
an American citizen.
Yes. It would not identify you as an African American citizen. It'd be American citizen, brother.
So
You
do I have to base my identity on how the world identifies me?
It's your nationality. So you're American, you're a citizen of America. You can't put African American citizen. That's not a thing. But let me take that back. It might be a thing. I don't know. You got LGBTQ doing different things now, so it might be different. I don't know.
So I have to identify with the identity that America.
You have a choice.
I have a choice.
America gives you a choice to identify as American or not, but I mean, at the end of the day, your nationality is American. So
it doesn't matter where my spiritual body is at.
it doesn't matter. I think that plays a part, but when it comes to like paperwork and stuff like that, I mean, you're gonna have to put American. You can't just put African.
In my culture, though, we don't believe that we're Americans. We believe that we're African.
Okay.
So I can't be an American based on that.
I mean, that's your culture though, African. Your nationality is American.
But in my culture, we don't subscribe to nationality in that way. Our nationality is based on like where our spiritual body is.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine. I can say the same thing.
Mm. Do you still consider me American?
Yeah.
But I thought you couldn't speak on it if you're not from that culture.
I am.
Which culture am I talking about?
We from the same tribe, brother. What you talking about?
Which tribe is that?
What's Africa?
It's not what I was thinking.
Yeah. What you thinking?
Not that.
Ain't it all the same?
That would be very culturally insensitive.
Okay. So there's subgroups
Do you
within
think that all South American cultures are the same?
similar in a lot of ways, yeah.
But are they the same?
Yeah, I would say so.
They're all the same.
Yeah, because they're all colonized and they all learn the same thing. They all speak Spanish, which is a colonized language.
There's more to a culture than language, though.
Language is probably the most important within the culture.
Is food part of the culture?
It's not as important as language.
But we're talking about differences.
Is food important to the culture?
Yeah,
It's
you're
important.
equating importance with being the same. If something's the same, that means there's no differences.
Well, yeah. They cook a lot of the same food, so
they're identical.
yeah.
Okay. So America is North American, right? And South American is South American.
If you want to put it like that, yeah.
They're both the Americas. And so pretty much you're saying North America is the same, identical as South America, which means that I could be better than somebody at making guacamole from South America.
This guy tried to bring you back to guacamole. Nah, you couldn't. Your culture doesn't make guacamole. That's not
No,
native
it's
to your culture.
identical.
That's
It's
not native to-
identical. My culture is the same. Is identical to them.
Your culture is not native to the guacamole.
It's identical.
Nah, you wouldn't be the same as native
It's
to somebody.
you said it was identical. I'm going off of your logic.
What you mean?
You said it was identical.
I said a lot of the same cultures.
I said so they're identical, and you said yes. That's the same
A
thing.
lot of those cultures are identical. Yes, correct.
You said they were all identical.
But your group in the Americas as a whole, we're not a whole.
They're identical. They're connected.
They're not.
North and South America are connected.
No. There's a border for a reason, brother.
Still connected.
And really, if you say that your culture is a whole other continent, then the Americas is identical because it was all one. So
Everything was all one at one point.
a lot of, huh?
The continents were all connected at one point.
Yeah, multiple times. But then
Yep.
the world restarted and stuff. So yeah. So technically, we all the same then.
So you can speak on those issues.
Maybe.
Nah, 100%.
Maybe.
This nigga trolling now.
Yo.
All right, I'm gonna wrap it up. We've been on 2 hours, 26 minutes.
From the Bottom Podcast.
Listen, let's do this outro. All right. So, can a white rapper be the best rapper? I'll say no, they cannot. We should stick to keeping black culture. Stop trying to include everybody else when it comes to these things. Not saying you can't have any white rappers, Hispanic rappers, whatever other rappers, but we also need to keep sacred what is ours and stop trying to sell our culture because we're not even in control. So that being said, if you're looking for some personal development, business coaching, make sure you hit me up. Click the link in the description and you can get a free consultation. See if we're a good match, and we'll go over some things and just see if we can help. And I'll let Ty give his outro, and then we'll wrap it up.
Ain't much to say. Off of that, just to add on is just to be sacred with your culture and what you have. Stop allowing everybody to have access to it. You look at indigenous folks. You're not gonna know everything about their culture. You're gonna know bits and pieces that they want you to know, and they keep everything basically in like a lockbox. And they become gatekeepers. And I think that's what we need to do as a people, is keep certain things to ourselves and stop letting people infiltrate it and make it okay for them to be accepted just because they're good. At the end of the day, especially with this topic, Eminem is not going to do anything for black culture. He hasn't done anything to uplift black culture that I'm aware of or that has been in the media, especially financially. I could be wrong, and that's okay because we're all human. He could be doing things behind closed doors. But
We're not all human. Lil Wayne is a Martian. We are not the same. I am a Martian.
You said that Eminem was better.
And I'm hotter than summer rain, like Carl Thomas.
Yeah.
Rock low, ready to aim at any target. I
Give
can
me an
hit
Eminem verse.
brains for a bargain, like I bought it from Target.
Give me an Eminem verse if he's better than Wayne.
Hip hop is my supermarket. Shopping cart full of fake
He
hip hop artists.
He can't. Anyways, keep it sacred. Teach the people. Be better. Do better. What Umar say? Black queens forever, snow bunnies never. Coming from Dr. Umar Johnson. Dr. Umar Johnson.
Find that suspicious?
Reach out to us. Get on the podcast with us.
You don't find that suspicious? I beg your pardon.
Leave that man alone about his Portugal wife.
To end this, I got something special for y'all. I'll do a Umar impression to the best of my ability.
Uh-oh. Who am I? SMF.
Young brother, I seen and heard enough for you tonight to know that you not for your people. You come through with the white man's shades on, got them darked out, but your soul whiter than paper. You come here, hair, afro style, but your mindset says dry chicken. Brothers and sisters, we have to stop this. Brothers and sisters, we have to stop this. We got a young black brother who don't believe that his people can make guacamole.
Nope.
And see, Africans were the first on every continent. So for you to put that brother down and say he can't make guacamole and salsa, you putting down your whole race, brother. You putting down your whole people, brother.
Can't.
And then you gonna interrupt King Kong consciousness? You gonna scratch your black chin? Give that black chin back to the black community.
Open up that raggedy ass school.
Hey now.
It took 5+ years. Where's it at?
And see, that's the problem with black folks. Yo, bachelor's degree take 4 years, and you want me to open up a revolutionary school in 5?
Hey. Someone
But
say
if
you're
it was the white man, they'd get 20 years, and y'all wouldn't say a thing. It's been 400 years, and y'all ain't saying nothing about that.
404 years.
And see, brothers and sisters, I want to point this out too. I talked about guacamole with the young brother. He didn't want to get down to that because he knows deep down in his white European thirst heart that he not for his people. He not for his people.
Snow bunnies forever, black queens never.
See, brother, what you missing through them European eyes that you looking at, the screen through, what you missing on your wolf wagon that the white man probably gave you, that you went and got from the white man's store. I'm gonna go there.
I got it from my indigenous ancestors, but
you got it from who? Let's get into it, brother.
My indigenous ancestors.
Oh, your indigenous ancestors.
Seriously.
We got a pretendian. We got a pretendian. Your indigenous ancestors. That's you not wanting to claim your Africanity because they convinced you that being native is more important than being black.
Here's the thing. You said African. Africa was the first people. Weren't they indigenous? Weren't they the first people?
Indigenous to Africa, my brother.
If everything was together as a whole, then there was no Africa. We were together as one.
Go back and study geography. See, this is the problem with the school system. But you want white women to teach you geography.
Africa's not even. That's a colonized name. Africa's a colonized name, and you're still using it.
You colonized. The white man got you colonized, brother. You missing the point.
You out here scamming.
You'd rather be native than black.
Yeah, you're scamming your people.
Would you rather be native than black?
You're scamming your people.
You rather be native than black.
I am all that is one.
So you with the multicultural crowd. That's what you telling me.
I'm a chameleon. I blend in anywhere.
See, pay attention, brothers and sisters. He's so ashamed of his Africanity.
Never.
He's so ashamed of his blackness. He's so ashamed of who he really is that he's going to the white man's pet to get his identity.
The white man's what?
The white man's pet.
Mm.
How you gonna give a people land that's theirs and you still live there and you got to report to their government? That don't sound like a pet owner relationship.
Could say the same about you.
Don't go there, brother.
We both living in the same lands.
Brother, we gonna have to talk offline. Hit my line 215-289-9898. 215. Hit the Cash App. $ Peace and Love 93. Hit the Cash App. Donations. Hit the Cash App. $ Peace and Love 93. Don't forget to donate. Any closing thoughts?
Hey, power to the people.
Black queens forever. Native women never.
They're better than black women.
Where? I mean, no disrespect to that community, but the black woman is the greatest woman God ever sent down to earth.
All women are the greatest. You were birthed by a woman. She raised you, nurtured
Ain't
you.
nothing like a black queen, brother.
It's woman's nature to
Get the white man's lens off, and then you'd be able to see that.
what? A black man actually created these. What are you talking about?
Look, brother, I got to go eat my vanilla bean ice cream.
The white
Make sure
man's
you hit the Cash App. Peace and love.
white man's food right there.
Hey, brother, I'm weak sometimes. I'm weak sometimes. Vanilla bean. I eat some cocoa bean, but I'm having vanilla bean tonight. But all right. Peace and Pan-Africanism. Peace and Pan-Africanism. And see you next time.
We out.
Yeah.
Turn the video off.
We sick.
Yo.
Uh-huh. Drizzy.
Stupid, boy.
Young moolah, baby.